What's going on, internet world? So, you might notice this time I don't have my safety belt on. I'm not driving. Just easier because I don't know, cell phone with the well, my truck has a cell phone stand, so it works instead of me walking around like this. I'd like to address that trucker that got sentenced. I commented on a buddy's post. I've been seeing it kind of popping up a little bit here and there on my news feeds and everything, and frankly, I wanted to listen to what I could of the case, so I got a little bit into the closing argument by the prosecutor. Very shitty quality. You want to trust government, take a look at the fucking video quality of some of their fucking shit. Tell you, it's terrible. So, a lot of folks are making this about a race thing. It is not a race thing. This is purely 100% CDL holder thing. I know I've touched this on another video before. I'm going to do it again. And I cannot stress this enough. If you have a fucking CDL and you are not making enough money for a lawyer, and a damn good lawyer, you are foolish. I have friends that have CDLs. Got a friend that drives a bus. Let me tell you, if you're driving a school bus and a student decides to stand up while you're moving and they fall down and get hurt, you can be held liable for that. Okay? You were driving a big rig and the brakes fail. We all see what happens with that one, at least in Colorado, but I'm going to tell you, that is nationwide as well. If you have a CDL and you get behind the wheel of your personal vehicle and you have had one beer, if you register a .02 on the BAC, you're going to jail. Even in your personal vehicle. I don't know all of the facts to this case because I refuse to click on any big media sources. And that's really all I can find. I can't find much independent sources on this. If anybody can help me, if my buddy Aaron watches this, he says he'll watch a few minutes of my video, so I'm only 2 in. Aaron, if you can find it, Mr. Internet Wizard, send it my way. I can't find any video preferable because I spend a lot of my time driving. I can find video. I like to hear testimony and stuff. I found little tidbits here and there, but I can't find anything, like the Rittenhouse trial or anything. So if you feel up to it, go for it. So it was a mechanical failure that happened. So I was listening to the closing argument from the prosecution, and they were saying, okay, you had a chance to take the truck ramp, emergency ramp. So anybody that lives in a hilly area on highways, you'll notice that there's runaway truck ramps, okay? And they're spaced out every half mile, just depending on geologically where they can put these runaway truck ramps. And they are specifically put there for truckers to use for when you use your brakes. I was listening to that bitch's closing argument, and she was placing all of the blame of the brakes failure on him as a driver. Okay? Saying that the brakes went because of him. Now, I seen some dash cam footage. He went by a truck ramp. He had a little bit of a swerve thing going. Exactly why he didn't hit that ramp, I don't know. I mean, he was trying to tap his brakes. You could tell the truck really wasn't slowing down. Could have been a mixture of inexperience, whatever. But he did bypass one of those ramps, and then a few miles down is where the deadly, tragic accident happened. So, what I'd like to touch on is some of the statements that she made in her closing arguments was putting all of the blame on him, okay? Saying that, the brake failure was because of overusage of the brakes. Now, air brakes, and what you are probably more familiar with is your disc brakes, drum brakes on a vehicle. They operate entirely different. Air brakes are done if they get hot, they're not grabbing anymore. Everything expands and there's no grab. I was listening to what I could, and I'm going to tell you, she was saying a few things. She was like putting all the blame on him. Like, this doesn't happen to anybody else. And my only question is, if all the time trucks operate 100% of the time the way that they're supposed to, that all the brakes operate all the time, except if it's human error, why the fuck are there truck ramps, runaway ramps? Why? They are there because sometimes the brakes fail. That's what it is. Whether it is inexperience or just an actual mechanical breakdown, sometimes they fail. Okay? That is the reality of the situation. I wish that there was a better braking system for these units, but this is what we got. It's what it is. Everybody wants to make this a race thing. It is not. When you sign your name on the dotted line on getting a CDL, you are now affirming to the federal government that you personally have received the training and you have the knowledge of exactly how your rig works. Now, I am not arguing that you should not be driving these things, or that you should be driving these things without training. They are different than a pickup truck. They're different than a car. But once you sign your name on that, you are affirming personally that you are good enough to not have an accident. There's a pre-trip inspection that has to be done. Me personally, once my CDL is all said and done, with this little device right here, I will be recording every single morning my pre-trip. Every fucking morning. Anytime I get behind the wheel of a vehicle, I will be recording the fucking pre-trip. Once you do that, it does not matter what happens on the road. You, as the professional driver, will take the fall. Period. End of story. You, as a professional driver in your own fucking vehicle, will take the fall. Period. End of story. Unless you have a dash cam or something that proves otherwise. And let me tell you, the burden of proof is not so high when you have a CDL license. Has nothing to do with race, but everything to do with you signing your name on that dotted line as personally responsible as an individual behind the wheel. Everyone wants to know why there's a trucker shortage. That is why. Whenever you get a ticket, when you're a CDL operator, and you're driving a company truck, all right, and something fails on it, or you get pulled over by the state boys and something's a little overweight, something's not quite right, you are responsible, not the company. You are. That ticket goes in your name. It is you at court, all of it, not the company. Like I said, and I cannot iterate this enough. Oh, well, battery save on my truck. Oh, come on. And then I got to open up the door. Hold on. All right. I cannot iterate this enough. If you are driving a CDL truck without money for a damn good lawyer, you are foolish. Period. 4 million signatures is on the petition to grant this guy clemency. I think I'm going to go ahead and sign it as well. Unless there's any testimony that I'm failing to see here that does implicate him on something heavily negligent. Like I said to my buddy Marcus on Facebook, doesn't matter if you have brand spanking new tires on there and they blow out and you lose control of your trailer or something. Maybe you hit a road obstruction, which can happen. You lose control, flip over, and kill somebody. You're still at fault, Jack. Has nothing to do with the color of his skin. At all. And when I was listening to the prosecution make her closing argument, All I could think about was, you little bitch, you know nothing. She found another CDL driver that agreed to testify on her behalf. The brakes wear out. They can wear out during trips. Maybe he was a little heavy on the usage of the brake. Maybe he was. Still not, it's not 100% his fault. It was an accident. He did not maliciously do anything. He did not have a beer and was chugging a beer up the road, grinding through the gears saying, I got this. He wasn't smoking weed. He wasn't sniffing coke. He was not trying to race somebody beside of him. It was 100% an accident. Could it have been avoidable? Maybe. But 110 years? 110 years. The judge even said out of his own mouth, it's the minimum, his hands are tied. Little PSA. You around a big truck? Get around it quick. Get out of his fucking way. You'll make him nervous. He weighs almost 100,000 pounds. Get the fuck out of his way. They can't see you. They can't hear you. Cut them off at your brakes. Expect to die. That's what it is. Expect to die. Quit looking at all these truckers like they're this huge fucking problem, because let me tell you something. You wouldn't eat without them. You wouldn't be able to fill up your vehicles without them. They need a little safe spot to be able to drive. Give it to them. And please, pay close attention to everything that's going on right now. Locking up truckers. Tim Pool actually just uploaded something. I kind of like the tie-in on what he did, showing how the truckers are kind of banding together, and a good percentage of them signed the petition. But you got these bad cops out there. They don't know how to stand up. I like that tie-in. I'm not going to steal his thunder. I'll share his video on my Facebook after mine gets uploaded. But yeah, it's not a race thing, people. It's not. It's what happens when government gets involved. I just had to do a CPR training class today, because OSHA requirements that on any job site there has to be one CPR certified person. Okay, on the surface it looks great. It does. There is some liability with me now being CPR certified. Looks good on paper. Had to get all these OSHA 30s, OSHA 40s, all of that. Government gets involved. Things get crazy. May sound safe, may sound good. Question it all. And quit trying to put race in every fucking thing. People, grow the fuck up. Look past that shit. Look past the fucking race. And look at the actuality of it. I mean, grow the fuck up. It's 2021, people. We shouldn't be fighting over race. I mean, for real. Look at what is real. And I encourage you. I haven't even done this, but I'm willing to bet $100. Look up CDL arrests. Look at the sentencing that has happened to people, and if you can separate it by race, go for it. The results might surprise you. I love y'all.